So I'm guessing that some of y'all are probably not up on here, which is totally fine. I'm not smoking a pipe. I'm inside. I'm actually inside my parents' house, so I want to be respectful of that situation. And I am very tired, and I may have had a wee bit to drink. Not too much, just a wee bit, just a wee bit. The reality is, I'm actually. It's not that I'm drunk, because I'm not. Because I actually haven't had like a wee bit, maybe a wee bit. It's I'm tired, y'all. It's been a big day. It has been a big day. Um, the episode that just went out this week, because today's Saturday. This past week, the episode that just went out this past week was the pipe modern mythology. And it was so interesting because today, as we record this, we actually recorded our 500th episode, the finale of Country Square Radio, which many of y'all are going to experience for the first time in a couple of weeks from now. And we had folks come from all over. We had an international audience, which sounds good. And it's because of our Canadian listeners who drove so far to join us, and we really appreciate them so very much. We appreciate so many of y'all traveled from so far. We appreciate y'all so much. Uh, but anyway, the fact of the matter is, it's so interesting. It was over the last 48 hours getting even feedback, like live feedback in person from folks on the pipe modern mythology, and seeing how it hit different with different people was very interesting. But next Wednesday, we're putting out an episode on the Inklings. It was really interesting because I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. How next week's episode on the Inklings is like the most Bo episode of Country Squire Radio. So much so that by the end of it, just a little bit of spoilers, John David even says, "Pass the plate," because I was preaching. Like, in terms of like closing out the show from me, like this next week's episode is it's like it's like my gift to y'all, and I hope you enjoy it. The next week after that, not next week, but the next week is called "Pipe Capitals of the World, Jackson, Mississippi," and it is like the most John David episode. It's like the most John David episode. It goes into the history of the Squire, and it is so awesome. It's so awesome, and it's very John David. You're about to get like the two most Bo and John David episodes in like next week and the next week, and I really hope y'all enjoy it so very much. And then after that, you're getting the barbecue and pipe tobacco pray. This is 3 weeks in the future at this point. And let me tell y'all something. Oh man, I gotta apologize to our editor Mike because it's gonna be a mess to try to edit and everything. Yesterday we set up our recording space for the live event that happened today, and we recorded the bookends for the barbecue episode so that we could just really focus on the pairing. And the well, you know what? It's gonna be too hard to explain exactly what happened. Point is, it's gonna be an editing nightmare for our man Mike. So y'all be keeping Mike in your prayers and me as well, because I got to figure out how to pull the audio from this weird recording session we just did to be able to mix it all together. But I'll just put it this way: if it sounds amazing, that's because of Mike. He's a good man, and he's gonna make it sound really good. So we got that pairing, and then we're gonna have the final episode of Country Squire Radio. Not next week, or the next week, or the next week, but the next week. And I think I could be wrong because, like I said, it's gonna be a bit of an editing nightmare. It's probably gonna be the longest episode of Country Squire Radio. We had a lot. We. There's a lot to talk about, and we try to talk about all of it. And it's funny because even after we got done recording, as I was talking to folks, I realized there was still more. I was like, oh, I wish I had said this and I had planned to share this. And the funny thing is, and I think I'm actually really grateful for this, is that once we got done recording the final episode, like almost instantly, as like people were like being dismissed from the space that we were in, like there was this aha moment John David had, or somebody let him know that we had totally forgotten a major announcement that I'm not going to say here, but you will find out on the 500th episode. And it was one of those things that has direct impact for everybody that was present and will have direct impact the moment the episode goes live. And again, I'm not saying anything right here, but we let everybody know the impact moment for everybody was there, but we still have to record the announcement, the reveal. I don't even know what the right phraseology is here, but basically we're gonna have to re-record. We're gonna have to record this thing, which means that though this was the 500th episode, we get to hop on a Zoom call in like a week or two to check back in for one last little final for us anyway. One last little final like check in and get together, which is so funny because you go through all this hard work for the end of the series and everything, and you're like it's like this mental cathartic thing, and like it's an emotional processing. It's really it's it's a lot. It's a lot. You go through, this is so it's such a unique. Anyway, you'll hear the episode. But the point is, like, there's this mindset of after you get done recording that final one, that like it's like that sense of finality and everything. But then you realize almost instantly, like, oh shoot, we got a little bit more we got to do, and you're like, oh, I was so ready to like cathartically like release after this. Like, oh man, you know what? But now I'm actually like, I'm looking back on, it, I'm like, it's gonna be nice to hop on a call in like a week or two and record that one little bit that we'll probably toss at the beginning of the episode. Is kind of think how we'll probably do it. So stay tuned for that. But today was a big day. And I'm very grateful for everybody who was able to join us. We have people who travel and drive, and some people like straight up relocate for some time just to come for this. And I really hope everybody that came had a really good time. I really hope y'all had a really good time. I tried so hard. I think I was able to shake hands with everybody that came. I really hope that I was. I tried to, and if I missed you, if you came and I didn't get a chance to meet you, I'm really sorry. I tried with everybody. But I think I did. I think I did. I'm very grateful to everybody who came. For those of you that couldn't make it, for those of you that couldn't make it, which is most of y'all, because it's really, I mean, most people, it's the last episode, and they're going to experience it as the same way they've experienced every single podcast. Um, I think we got some. I hope y'all enjoy it as much as we enjoyed making it. And I know you're not gonna hear it for like a month because again, like Inklings, Pipe Capitals, barbecue, like it's like three. Yeah, it's gonna be 4 weeks before you actually hear the episode. And I know this is kind of a tease more than anything else, but I really hope y'all, I really hope y'all enjoy it. We were blown away, y'all. My voice is gone from just enjoying my pipe, but also just speaking all day long. I'm exhausted. I've never been more exhausted, I don't think. Probably since my kids were born. I've never been more exhausted. Um, But yeah, I don't know. I had a couple minutes. I thought I'd jump on here real quick and just kind of share with y'all. It's been a thing. Portland, I see you in the chat, man. Thank y'all so much. Uh, the tingle on the front of the, can I can I tell you something, man? It's wild. We've had so many inside jokes and so many different moments throughout the show, and like almost instantly afterwards, I was like, man, I wish we had talked about this and that and other and everything else. And we met people that were like responsible for some of those memes taking off in like the last previous years. It was so special. Yeah, we had some YouTube pipe royalty that came on this. We had some industry folks, which is awesome, is great, and it's incredible that showed up for this. Like some big industry folks, and you'll hear more about that. But I think it was like the content creators, especially someone who's been a content creator in this space for so long. Like the fact that they came, that means so much to me. That means so much. You'll hear more about that in the future. If you paid attention to this YouTube channel, then you might have seen at least a little bit of a tease for that. But anyway, yo, I'm really tired, and I'm supposed to be on a flight back to Houston in like 4 hours. So I'm gonna go get some sleep. But I want to just hop on here real quick, just to mark the end of the day and say thank y'all so very much. We got 4 more weeks of the podcast, and I'm not planning on not uploading stuff. I'm still gonna hop on here and do little these talking heads from time to time. I'm not going anywhere from that standpoint, and I'm appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. Um, Jay says listening to the podcast is just like hanging out at the shop. It's humbling to see the emotion in your face just talking about today and how much the show is all meant to you. Oh, Ben, I need to get some sleep. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a big day. It's been a big day. All right, y'all. Thanks for hopping on. I know it's super late. So those of you who are able to tune in, I appreciate y'all. Let's let's get some good sleep and let's go have a day. Bye, y'all.